everyone. Mm. Okay, so I'll give you a second before y'all come in here. Do you see the little guy? You can't see him. You see his eyes? Look at him. He came to hang out here because he heard me eating my chicken sandwich. Okay, everyone. So let's do the intro. Welcome, everyone, to this space. This is the space that I carry in the internet, and it is called Anonnie's Temple. You can call me Anonnie. I am a tarot reader, a channeler, and intuitive for divine source and Christ consciousness energy. And the readings that I do here are prophecies. I'm going to say the age-old catchphrase to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Whenever any of us watch tarot readings or oracle readings, we all take the adult responsibility for how we react to it and what we incorporate or change about our lives following that tarot reading. So I trust that you will do the same. So I have something, Emperor and Empress. Wow. Let's talk about this. I'm just going to go right ahead and begin because with the cards showing that already, the energy is ready. Like maybe you'll be able to see the little guy over here. Let me see it. I'm gonna move it so you can see him. Look. Oh, he ran away. Of course he did. Glory be. That looks like a rainbow aura to me. Glory be to the highest creator of all things. Thank you, divine source one, most high divine creator at the frequency and the highest frequency of love. Thank you to the beloved ancestors whose blood runs through my veins. Thank you to the angels and archangels who surround me and helped to provide me with the guidance and messages on this day. Glory be to Source One, to the Creator, to the ancestors, the angels, archangels, and the benevolent entities and beings, seen and unseen, who are supporting me and all of us to the highest and greatest good of all. I receive your divine messages with clarity. I deliver them with integrity, and I feel them with love. Ashe. Okay, everyone. So I am going to come right out with it with this message. I was eating dinner. I ordered a chicken sandwich. I was like, that's fine, and that's enough for me. And as I'm sitting here catching up on a show that I like to watch and eating this chicken sandwich, I realized that I should actually share one of the lessons that I had recently learned literally today. Okay. But I realized I was like, you know what? Let me share this lesson that I have learned with the Divine Collective in hopes that perhaps it could help somebody else who's out there. So you're at the Temple of the High Priestess. We have the Empress and the Eight of Rods coming out. So are you ready for what I want to share with you today? Like the video if you are. So I'm going to speak to you as this Empress energy, okay? I recently learned a lesson about unrequited love. And for me personally, growing up, unrequited love was something that was very normalized in my household. I often saw women in my family fall in love and have their hearts broken, fall in love and dote on someone just to receive crumbs in return. And so, as I had developed into puberty and into my dating age or romantic age, I found it very normal and comforting even to be in the space of unrequited love. And when I say unrequited love, I'm talking about having a fantasy about someone, but not really knowing much of who they are in physical reality. Fantasizing about someone, imagining things with someone, daydreaming about someone. And in some ways, that daydreaming can be visualization, right? But when it comes to the unrequited aspects, I realized that I began to take on this archetype of having secret crushes on people. And I would keep what I desired in my heart space, whether it was a relationship with someone or to get to know someone or to get to know someone on a deeper level. I kept that so hidden as a desire of mine because my comfort, my scope, or my comfort level, whatever it is, was to keep someone in the energy of the fantasy and of the love being unrequited instead of actually developing the language to ask for what I want. Because I had seen what had happened to so many of the women in my family who came before me and tried to ask for what they wanted, but then they received crumbs or nothing, barely anything in return. And even still, I can sometimes see that even still they're afraid to ask for what they want or for what they need or for what would make them feel satisfied. So I want to tell you what the hey, welcome. So I want to share with you what the universe recently blessed me with, because you know your girl's a manifester, right? Aren't we all here? We're alchemists, manifestors, original earth angels. Take your choose and pick. So recently, the Most High Divine brought a man who I had fantasized about into my physical reality. It was no longer um, daydreaming. It was no longer, a written T Swift love song, unrealistic, crush that I had on someone that was secret. I physically ended up meeting this person. And when I had met with them, I realized how much of a disservice I was doing to my own self by keeping my desires as fantasies. It was as though I had been gridlocking my own desires out of fear that if I had actually gone after some of the deepest desires in my heart, that I would not get them, that they would be rejected, or that I would be rejected. And let me tell you, when I met this person, this was one of the hardest lessons that I have ever learned because it's one of the longest ones that I have held on to. That even though I have a fantasy and a desire in my heart space for something or for someone or how or who what someone could even represent to me, keeping that as intangible felt safer than me actually developing the language, the skill set, the emotional intelligence to actually say, no, I want to make this physical for me. And I feel here like there was also this feeling of insecurity. Even though my heart has a whisper of desire, am I good enough for it? If it actually would happen? So when I met this person that I had fantasized about, and I'm telling you, for like years, I had a secret crush on this person for years. They ended up sharing with me a very valuable lesson where they explained how they said it generally, right? So they weren't targeting me specifically in any way. But you know how the universe will speak to you through different people. And so I had never met this person, had only a secret crush on them, finally got the chance to meet them physically. And our conversation ended up erring towards nourishment and intimacy. Yeah, there goes my phone. And so I came out of that conversation with this person, Ace of Rods. They're like, keep going. Okay. I came out of that conversation with that person realizing that number one, nothing was probably going to come of it. So, number two, what of all the time that I spent creating a fantasy that would not come to fruition. And number three, how do I forgive myself and forgive that person for that? So after I met them, I'm telling you, I went through a type of like excruciating heart opening where I simultaneously had to let go of the fantasy, let go of that person, but also let go of the part of me who even needed that fantasy to rely on to begin with. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, how could I have spent so many years denying myself in a state of denial where I would fantasize instead of actually going after what I wanted, out of enough self love and enough self respect to say, I deserve that. So I'm going to go get it. So I'd say that the excruciating heart opening that I had felt lasted for about 10 to 12 days. I fell into a depression. I started having crying spells. I was processing and journaling and grieving. And finally, today, I felt a shift. And I felt empowered enough to say no more fantasies, no more unrequited love. That is just as much of a disservice to that person as it is to my own self. Now I move with empowered desire to open up my life and allow in what it is that I need, especially from masculine energy. So what did I do? After I moved through the heart opening and the journaling and the processing, what did I do today? I ordered a chicken sandwich and I fucking danced. Excuse my language, but I wanted to emphasize that there. I turned all of the lights out and I danced. And I felt the release of that old self of mine who felt so much grief in their heart that I didn't allow it to even feel the reality of love that it was truly wishing for. So it's just, I wanted to share this with you because this is what this life is really made of. These moments where we feel uplifted and these moments where we feel broken down. And I share both of those messages and I share both of those perspectives in the timelines that I see for you in these tarot readings. And I also want to let you know that I even practice that my own self. I'm not just glorifying some timelines here for you or glorifying readings for you. I respect you too much for that. So that's why I'm sharing here this lesson that I have learned on this day of growing in respect for my own self. Gratitude to the divine, gratitude to the divine, gratitude to the divine. King of Swords and Ace of Cups. So if this message resonates with you, I feel here that and I brought this up in the last reading, I feel here that there's a masculine ancestor who has passed over, who is helping you I'm hearing reborn, who's helping your heart go through a rebirth. Okay? So divine, is there anything else that I had missed in this download that you wanted me to share with the collective? Anything else you want me to share? Okay, there's the King of Pentacles here. And funny enough, the masculine energy who I had met that I had unrequited love towards and just a secret crush towards, they're an earth sign. We have the King of Pentacles coming out here. So, King of Pentacles, what do you want to show me? Okay, you're gonna flip that over. Okay. Okay, two flipped over. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay. Let's see what he's saying here. Mm. Interesting, interesting. Why is this King of Pentacles coming through like this? Do we want King of Cups in the reversed or upright? Interesting. So, Five of Wands, the Hermit, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. I'm surprised that the cards are flipping out in this way. The cards are showing me here, and I'm not sure of how to read this because it's kind of more of a personal message, but I hope that it resonates for you too. Okay? This masculine energy that I have doted on for so many years, and then we finally met, and it seemed like it just wasn't meant to be, and I had to let it go. Their energy is coming through. I don't want to say their energy. I'm going to say, to me, in my mind, they're represented as the King of Pentacles. So this King of Pentacles energy is coming through to talk about the Eight of Swords. I feel here like he wants to talk about something that you have been looping on, or something that you've been going round and round and round about with the Eight of Swords here. That usually means that someone is feeling kind of stuck in an energy. They're not sure of the solution, and they're unsure of how to get themselves out of the Eight of Swords. But really, what happens here is the Eight of Swords is of your own doing, right? The cycles of unrequited love that I thought were normal were in some ways of my own mindset because it felt so normal. This King of Pentacles is interestingly enough coming through to share that it's not that they don't have feelings for you, but you've kind of been stuck in your own head and unable to see because of this attachment issue. No, because of this, how do I say, fantasy of unrequited love. It's like this person is saying, like, you had to kind of clear that out or clear that gunk out in order for the reality of the partnership to come through. So I see this person coming through and, like, they're not rejecting you, they're not denying you. They're kind of sharing, like, no, you were just stuck in your head this whole time. So show me this. What else, King of Pentacles? Am I getting this? Yeah, interesting. Ace of Cups. Show me this, Most High. I'm just surprised to see this energy come through. And then we have Ace of Cups and the Star representing healing. We have Nine of Swords, the Hermit, and then the Moon. You know what's a bit peculiar here? Okay? I see that the apple of someone's eye, or someone who you have been interested in, it's like they couldn't come through so long as you were holding on to the fantasy of who they are, or holding on to the fantasy of, like, this is going to look like a romantic movie, or this is going to look or feel a certain way. It's a bit peculiar. But this person is sharing that they understand that this is the role that they have played in your life to help you heal this heart space wound, Eight of Swords, that is no longer serving you. And I feel here with the Hermit, Nine of Swords, and the Moon, that's a lot of isolation energy, being in your own thoughts, processing your own psyche. With the Star and the Ace of Cups, I feel here like your work on the heart space and the lesson that you needed to learn are done. I'm going to try to pull from another deck, okay? And then I'm going to close this out because it's kind of a shorter message. You see, the feminine energy here is showing up as the Hermit. I feel here it's like this person may not have been as judgmental about you as you could have thought. There were so many expectations that you may have had in the Eight of Swords energy of how something should have looked. And because it didn't look that way, with this like isolation you may be feeling, it could have compounded that isolation, made it feel worse. There's something here where this King of Pentacles is saying they never meant to hurt you. They don't necessarily have the same feelings as you do. They don't have feelings towards you as a lover here, but they needed to come in, the Magician reversed. They needed to come in as a type of like inverted manifestation to show you where you specifically needed to heal in order for the actual Ace of Cups to come through. Because if you were going to go after let me say it this way, because if you were coming into union, Emperor and Empress, it wouldn't have served you or the union to still be holding on to this blueprint of creating a fantasy about someone. Okay? Anything else you want to show me, Most High? So that's why this manifestation, it seems to me, came through. And it didn't manifest in the way that I thought it was going to. First, when I ended up meeting with this person, I thought that it was proof that in some way we would have a connection that was deeper and romantic and long term. But in fact, I had manifested it coming through because I needed to see what was in my heart space that had to be cleared out. And so it's interesting because their presence has still supported me, or this manifestation not actually coming to fruition has still supported me. Because now it sets my vision and my heart in the correct direction. Okay? Final messages, please. Then I'm going to close this out. Thank you all for joining me. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Hey, Pharaoh. What does that say? Native American? What's up, Pharaoh? We have the Queen of Coins and the Queen of Wands. You see, what's interesting here is after I spoke with this person, I felt so rejected. That was the heartache that came through. And I think that you may be surprised to find that you're actually still showing up as someone very stable and very attractive with so many brilliant qualities about you. So it's like this person, yeah, 10 of Cups. Whoever this message is for, there is love here for you. And this was a part of the learning and the healing process. Okay? Any final messages, Most High? Eight of Pentacles. Thank you. And the 10 of Coins. Yo, check that out. This lesson learned and this realization, Queen of Cups to the Two of Swords reversed, has actually opened you up to learning something deeper about yourself emotionally And it has also helped you to learn more about your emotions or working with emotional energy. So, with the Two of Swords in the reversed here, now that you have finally closed out the roads to all of those secret crushes, to all of those the hidden love that you felt for someone else, to you've closed the roads to all of the unrequited love. Now you're able to make the decision that truly serves you. Now it's no longer a fantasy. Now it's an Eight of Pentacles and a Ten of Pentacles. Something that you have enough confidence to invest in, because that means that you're investing in yourself. I think you should get very excited. Nine of Coins here. Nine of Cups in the reverse. Interesting. It's like they're saying that even though you felt comfortable in those fantasies, it was never actually what you wanted. Unrequited love is never actually what you're wishing for, is it? So, Nine of Coins, you're taking your power back. You're moving as someone who feels empowered. You're moving as someone who feels like they love themselves and they deserve their heart's desires, so much so that you'll put it into physical manifestation. You'll put energy behind it, not just fantasy, but movement, effort. You know what I mean? It's like you will put yourself out there. And what comes of this transition, I'm going to end the message here, is your 10 of Coins and your 10 of Cups. All right, everyone. Is that it, Most High? Final messages, Unicorn Tarot. Yeah, Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles. This is the lesson that was keeping you stuck, so to speak. Or that it was kind of like you had to learn it again and again. Like you have been holding on to feeling that having a crush on someone or like doting after someone. It kind of gives like parasocial relationships too. You know, like when people are interested in someone and it's like they only know them through a medium that's actually very distant. Like there's not a lot of connection there, but it feels like you know someone. And like, listen, I've done that myself. That's why I'm doing this reading. Okay, so I'm not judging you for that at all, but this is giving the energy of like parasocial relationships where it may feel deeper on your end than someone else's, and you were kind of going around in a figure eight with this. I see you being released from it now. Okay, all right, I think that's it, y'all. What is this? Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yes. So I'm hearing here that you have the right now to speak over the new timeline. So Queen of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune means that you are now moving intelligently. Not just in a Queen of Cups or not just as a Queen of Wands or a Queen of Coins, but you're actually being intentional about how you are bringing in what you want in your life now. Queen of Swords to the Wheel of Fortune. I see it happening for you. Okay? All right, I think that's it, y'all. Yeah, look, the Sun on top of the Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here. You're able to better call in happiness on this timeline because now you have a clear heart center that tells you what would make you happy. And the fantasy, the secret crush, and the unrequited love was never actually going to make you happy. Now you know, and so do I. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to close this out because my chicken sandwich is cold now. It's cold now. Okay? I hope this message was helpful for someone. It was kind of like a personal reading. But, I do personal readings like this every now and then because I recognize that you and we are fractals of each other. Yes, exactly, you are. Pharaoh says, I am the author, the artist, and the authority of my reality. Exactly. Exactly. Okay? So I recognize all of us as fractals of each other, especially if you have felt attracted to this space or to this YouTube channel. Okay? So that's why I don't mind sharing about my own self, because I know that it will help someone else out there who is also a fractal of me and a fractal of Source. All right, y'all. I'm going to close out the energy of this reading. Glory be to the highest creator of all things. I close the portals that I have been looking within and through. And in all ways, I give gratitude for learning this lesson. Oof, took me a while, but I got there. Thank you, Source One, for the love that now enters our being and our life. Thank you for the love that is for self and for other. Thank you for this love that is giving and receiving. Thank you for this love that is physical and pleasing. Glory be to the highest creator of all things for fulfilling our deepest wishes of our heart spaces, for union, for love, for connection, intimacy, and divinity. Thank you, Source One. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, interdimensional beings of benevolence. Glory be to the Creator One. Ashe. All right. You're welcome, everyone. I will see you in the next one, and y'all be good. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. See you.